lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Item number 3, determination of a quorum.
President Johnson, all Board of Director members are present. You have a quorum.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 5, public comment. This time it is set aside for a public comment on any district-related matter not appearing on the agenda. Government code prohibits the board from taking action on these items, but they may be referred for future consideration. Please state your name and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Jane Jarlsberg, Joshua Tree, and I just wanted to comment that I was hoping everybody would sign the sign-in sheet. I'm kind of keeping an eye on that so that we can keep track of who's here. And okay, thank you. We talked about it earlier, a couple months ago.
Is there any other public comments? I'll move on to item number 7, the consent calendar. Matters on the consent calendar are considered routine in nature and will be enacted with a single motion without discussion. Any board member or member of the public may request that an item be removed from the consent calendar and acted on separately. We have the draft minutes of January 15th. Entertain a motion or comments.
I'll make that motion, Mr. President.
All right, is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Pardon me? Oh, I am moving right along, aren't I? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead with 7 then, and I have a second on that discussion. Hearing none then, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved, so done. I'll ask legal to give us a report.
Absolutely. The board met in closed session regarding item number 8 to discuss the award of a contract relative to an appointment of interim general manager Mark Ban as general manager. Based on those discussions, it is the recommendation to approve a 3-year contract with payment of $176,319.56 per year with the terms of benefits set forth in the agreement. A copy of the contract will be made available to the public on request, and the board will consider formal approval of this proposal as part of agenda item number 9.
All right, thank you. I'll ask at this time if the board has any comments. We'll start with Director Reynolds.
We've gone through a whole long process negotiating this contract, going it over word by word, line by line, and all the questions that needed to be addressed were addressed. Everything was handled cleanly. It was exhaustive, and but we've got it done, and I think we have a real good contract and even better general manager, hopefully, to come on board.
Director Unger.
We want to keep Mark.
All right, Director Hund.
I'd just like to thank interim and soon-to-be general manager Mark Ban for your excellent work and contributions to this district, and I think everybody in this room is pretty excited about having you come on board permanently. So I won't say congratulations yet, but I will soon.
Director Flowen.
Well, Mark has actually been here for some time now. How many? It's been, what, 2 years? So it's not like he just fell off the turnip truck. And he's got a long experience in the water business over at Yucca Valley with High Desert Water District. And during the time that he's been here, he's shown a great deal of skill inside and out. and he's shown a lot of knowledge of the water business. He's been patient with the board, and which is no easy task. And so I certainly welcome him as general manager, and look forward to a long and challenging future. Thank you.
I'd just like to say that we went through the interim process and period for over 6 months. We met with Mark regularly, Director Reynolds and myself. We've thoroughly gone through just about everything that we could possibly think of in terms of this contract. We think we have a great candidate and a prospective new general manager. The level and the depth of knowledge is we think that he's going to bring to Joshua Basin is going to put us way ahead of the game, and we're excited about the prospects. Just as a point of order here, I ask now for public comment, and then the board would vote on the motion. So at that, I will ask if there's any public comments. And seeing none, then I will entertain a motion to accept this contractual agreement.
Mr. President, I would like to proudly make that motion that we bring General Manager Mark Ban on board. We consider for the approval of General Manager's employment agreement, and then that is my recommendation.
Second.
All right, any discussion? If not, then I'll entertain a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so moved, so done. Congratulations. Now, if you will, please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Mark Ban,
I, Mark Ban,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the California,
and the Constitution of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations. We also have a lot of guests here at this time, and I'm going to ask some of our employees if they'd stand up and be recognized, if they would, please. All right. I can officially introduce our General Manager, Mark Ban, for his first official report.
Thank you very much. I look forward to the future with working everybody, and I'd like to thank everybody that came out to support me as well. Thank you very much. Just wanted to give a quick update on our CRP program. Our Package B, if you remember, we had it split into 3 packages. There was Package A, B, and C. Package B being those that were actually in the roads over there, in the pavement rather. All that main is installed, and reconnects are actually going to be finishing up on that. So all the residents along, we got San Rafael over there, Division Street, San Angelo, all those residents will be connected to the new water mains after the next week. So moving forward.
All right, I'll move on to item 11 then. Director's reports on meetings attended and comments of future agenda items. Mojave Water Agency, that was January 23rd, and Vice President Unger.
It was a kind of a quick meeting. They did have some things that they voted on, but something important, they did a little update on their general strategic plan. And we've got one of those. And I think I'd like to suggest that we take a little workshop or something coming up and go back over our strategic plan, see where we are on it, see what needs to be added to it, see what we've accomplished, and, look ahead with that. It was important to them. I think it should be important to us as well.
The Association of San Bernardino County Special Districts, that was January 27th. That was Director Reynolds.
That's me. That's me. I did attend the special districts meeting, and it's a dinner meeting, and it's very important that all the local agencies, not only water agencies, but fire agencies and even cemetery districts, special districts get together, small groups of people get together and develop relationships. So the meeting before the meeting is a real important get-together where we talk, we meet, we strategize, we talk about problems we've had and potential contractors to watch out for, and even attorneys that we've like and dislike. Not you. With that aside, this particular meeting was hosted each month. It's hosted by a different agency. This agency, the Rancho Cucamonga Water District, hosted it, and during that, everybody will offer a talk of some sort. It's usually some sort of an educational or something, how wonderful we've done, or something along that lines. This case, they had the Human Resources Director give that chat. She really explained the process, the hiring process that they go through, from going through the initial placing of the ad, background checks, and then the hiring process, the time it takes, all the way to once you're hired, what happens. And this part was impressive. They take their new employees and they go through their new employee orientation that most everybody goes through, and but they take it one step further. One thing that impressed me is a new employee would be introduced to all the employees in that district, key personnel, management, and so if there was something going on and you heard about something, you were introduced to who's who throughout that whole water district, and that was impressive. The challenge of that meeting is, I think this was one of the first chats that she has given, a speech, and one thing I learned, so I don't ever make the same mistake, is you don't give a microphone to someone who talks with their hands. And so throughout the meeting, I would hear this and that, and then she put it up like here. And other than that, it was a great meeting. And I conclude my report.
All right, Morongo Basin Pipeline Commission, and that was Vice President Unger.
And that is a riveting commission, let me tell you. Bob usually sits on that board, so I went for Bob. He couldn't make it. And they did an update on, the Delta conveyance. The original project started out about, 3 or 4 years ago as 2 tunnels that were going to come down from the Delta up north and go underground and bring water, and they spent a lot of time trying to put that together. That wasn't working. So now it's 1 tunnel, and it's a very expensive project. It's $12 billion. And Mojave Water Agency, who is our lead agency, they are in the financial JPA for that. And every meeting you go to lately at Mojave, whether it's their board meetings, a technical advisory committee, the pipeline, you get these dire warnings that financially this is going to be extremely challenging in all ways. They don't want to raise any rates for customers. They're looking at how they can still have agreements to sell and transfer water coming out of there. If you're not a signatory to the tunnel at the beginning, you've got like your water allotment will be down to like, a tiny percentage, a 10%, and then it will really cost you. So it's a real squeeze. And it's a serious thing, but it's keeping water coming to places like the desert. So even as challenging it is financially, they're still working on it. And then there is, in Johnson Valley, there's a pump station, which is where our pipeline aqueduct water comes in through there, and it comes back out here, it goes into our recharge, goes to High Desert, and that's going to be down for a couple of months, March, April, May. They're going to be doing some scheduled maintenance on it. It's got surge tanks and everything in there, but even though it was in, this is part of Mojave Water Agency's infrastructure, it was budgeted, and it's still on budget, I guess, for $226,000. So bringing water to the desert is not cheap. And, they did change the calendar a little bit for the Pipeline Commission, Bob. Let's see. Your next meeting is going to be in April, I believe. So you will be getting the message on that. And this is also, the commission has members from our agency, Bighorn Desert View, High Desert Water, also there's a special districts guy there, and so it's all, and Mojave Water Agency as well. So it's also a consortium of other water professionals, and it's this great way that Mojave keeps us all in touch. Thank you.
All right, I have a Legislative and Public Information Committee, and that met on February 5th, and that was Vice President Unger or Director Flowen.
Oh, geez, that was this morning.
Oh, is that today?
Yeah.
Tom, you want to take that one?
Just briefly, then you could fill in because you're a good note taker. But we discussed, I talked a lot about the Little Hoover Commission and their impact on legislation and generally speaking the lawmaking culture of the legislature. We have a local representative on that commission, and because of the technical, well, what specifically it is that it's supposed to be a balanced group of people on this commission, that they investigate things independently. And so you have equal balances of people from each political party. Well, our person up here has just left one party and became an independent, and so now I'm wondering if we're going to lose our guy, our local guy, and that, we talked about that briefly. Yeah, I'm shy about naming people. And also Kathleen Radnich, our public outreach person, gave a lengthy report, which I'm assuming she will review in some way today. Un poquito, okay. So that was a good meeting. Also, I attended that pipeline meeting too, in particular because Tom McCarthy was there. He's the general manager of the Mojave Water Agency, and generally speaking, they were very well represented there. Richard Hall was there, for example, which is it's useful for a director to kind of to listen to some of this stuff and get some background into what's going on with the larger picture of water in Southern California. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'd like to let Kathleen, Water Education Day.
But first, just want to mention our winter water saving workshops are still on the docket. We have one this weekend. That one is basic drip irrigation design, 9 to 12. Call me, which is on your newsletter if you're interested. February 22nd, 9 to noon. That's the following 2 Saturdays later. Irrigation troubleshooting for the homeowner. That's somewhat of a hands-on workshop. And following that, lunch break from 1 to 4 is native plants and xeriscaping. So those are our special workshops for winter, and they are filling up. So if you're still interested, give me a call. Then Water Education Day, there's a lot going on. It's going to be as big as last year, but bigger. And I just want to highlight some of the new things coming in. Other than also the State Water Resources Control Board representative will be there. So spread the word. If you have questions related to the state and water and you want to talk to their representative, they will be on our campus at Water Education Day. Also, Home Depot has decided to expand their education outreach from just not teaching on how to maintain a swamp cooler, but they're going to bring in low-flow toilets and water filters and tankless water heaters and things like that. They've decided to really reach out and teach. So I'm pretty excited that they've really gotten bit by the water conservation bug. The County Office of Emergency Services will be there to teach and help people apply their new app to their phone that will help notify them of an emergency. United Way of the Desert will be there, also talking about our low-income assistance program. Toro will be here to talk about getting smart meters that can talk to your phone, and you can control them from your phone. A lot of technology coming in. We will have some form of an exhibit from the hydroponics gardening company in Yucca Valley versus traditional gardening using water. Of course, we'll be doing the hydrocaching, and the hospitality industry booth is new this year, and it will be reaching out to people who have short-term renters. We had a meeting back in August, and it addressed a lot of the needs related to water for short-term renter abodes. And so now we have a booth, and at that booth there will be also an opportunity to give out our new QR code that will be tying people who come into the area and they have no clue what's going on about water. They simply will scan this little QR code that could be taped on a refrigerator wherever they're renting, and it tells them, is their water safe? Is it not? You know, we can reach people now. So that will be part of this outreach at Water Education Day on March 29th. There'll be a lot more, much more, but that's just the highlights right now. The parking lot will be full of booths. Hope to see you all there. And I have flyers here. I'll put them out in the lobby if you want one. Ta-da. Thank you.
All right, item number 12, future director meetings and training opportunities. The Mojave Water Agency TAC meeting, and that's tomorrow, and that's Director Hund. That's 10 o'clock. Joshua Basin Finance Committee, which is the most riveting meeting of all of the meetings that anyone can possibly attend. And that's February 12th, and that'll be right here, and that'll be myself and Vice President Unger. Water Resources in Operation is also that same day, February 12th at 10:30. That's Director Hund and Director Reynolds.
By the way, President Johnson, you're a tough act to follow.
Mojave Water Agency Board of Directors is the 13th of February, and that will be Director Unger. And our next board meeting is February 19th. So please, I really, really appreciate everyone being here this evening. I would love to see you all come back again and join us on the 19th. And Mojave Agency Board of Directors on the 27th, and that'll be Director Reynolds. And at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.